Welcome back, adventurers, to some more King's Quest 2, Romancing the Stone. I'm sitting here with a naked mermaid, and we all know that mermaids like combs, so I'm going to give her this comb, and maybe she'll kind of let me in with the mer people, and I can find that first gem. That's the plan.
You hold out the shell comb in your hand. Clear recognition shines from the mermaid's delicate features. She hesitates a moment, then cautiously extends her arm, hands open expectantly.
Alright, let me go in, give her the comb.
You gently place the shell comb in her palm. The mermaid examines it and smiles. She removes an opal necklace from around her neck and hands it to you. After a moment of admiring her once-lost possession, she looks at you with anticipation. You attempt to charade the act of going underwater to the mermaid. She regards you with a look of puzzlement. Just when the whole demonstration becomes too embarrassing to continue, she suddenly dives into the sea and swims right up to you.
How raunchy. It's crazy mermaid.
After giving you a rather intense kiss, the mermaid dives under the water again. You wonder where she has disappeared to. Then suddenly, you feel a pulling at your legs.
So she's a Black Widow. First she kisses me, and now she's trying to drown me.
The mermaid holds on to you, keeping you from resurfacing. You struggle instinctively while trying to hold your breath, but she will not let go. You know you are going to black out soon. Wait a minute, you're still breathing. How can this be? Could it have been the mermaid's kiss? Speaking of which, where has she gone to this time?
Nice, so I got a beautiful seahorse here, and it looks like I've been able to make contact with the mer people. Let's get on here and see where it takes me.
Well, this is a new experience. The seahorse willingly allows you to climb upon its back. You slide into the little saddle and take up the reins in your hands. You just hope this creature knows where it is taking you.
I'm pretty sure it does. It looks like a confident seahorse.
After a time of traveling through ever-deepening water, you arrive at a massive stone archway. Passing through it, you notice it is covered with many different intricate symbols, none of which you recognize. Mer writing, perhaps? As you emerge on the other side of the arch, a grand sight greets your eyes.
Very cool.
You have entered an aquatic throne room. As one would expect, such a place has a throne of sorts, but what you see seated in it takes your breath away, if that still applies. It is unmistakably the ruler of the mer people, the king of this watery world. Known by many names, Neptune is the one by which he is best known to your kind.
So Neptune if you're a Roman, Poseidon if you're a Greek, if you're into that kind of history stuff. Anyways, let's speak with him.
You bow before the king. He returns the gesture with a lowering of his own head. You open your mouth to speak, but only a bubble emerges. It begins floating up to the surface. You watch as your air bubble divides in two. Incredibly, each half maintains its semi-spherical shape. You take the half bubbles in your hands and position them respectively near your mouth and ear. A deep, elegant voice instantly booms from them.
You are welcome here, human.
Thank you. I am King Graham of Daventry.
Your courtesy depicts your stature. What is it you seek here?
You explain that you are seeking the 3 gems of nature, and that you believe one of them to be somewhere in this realm. You demonstrate the approximate size and shape of the gem, then mention the Door of Destiny and what you hope to find on the other side.
I do have that which you are seeking, and know of the Door of Destiny. It is very old. Its origin is known to but a few. What I possess was known to the ancients as the birth gem. In the realm of the Mer people, it is called the Water Gem, for without water, life cannot begin.
Might I have this gem, Your Majesty?
I shall let you have the gem, but first I must ask you to earn it by way of performing a service for me.
You are about to say anything, but then remember what you heard the last time you said that word to the stone door. Instead, you just nod and allow Neptune to continue.
My trident, the symbol of my power and the strength of my people, has been stolen.
A faint mumbling can be heard through the ear half of your bubble. This event is obviously of concern to those in attendance.
It is believed that one of our allies and neighbors have taken advantage of the Mer people's kindness, and that their own king now has possession of the trident. If you can reclaim it in the name of the Mer people, I will grant you ownership of the Water Gem. Will you do this, King Graham?
The murmuring has stopped. All are awaiting your response.
I would be honored to reclaim your trident, Your Majesty.
My sentries will escort you to the border between our two kingdoms. You may continue to use that steed to hasten your journey. It is my best. My sincerest hopes that you do not fall victim to the Sharkies.
As you prepare yourself for this new quest, a sudden pang of apprehension seizes you. Did the king just say Sharkies, as in sharks?
Okay, so it looks like he has the water gem, and I simply need to retrieve his trident from the hostile Sharkies, and it'll be all mine. Probably easier said than done, honestly.
As you depart the underwater kingdom, you see 2 guards waiting to escort you to the Sharkies' realm.
Really like the background here of the underwater city. It's really cool. Look at these 2 guys marching me to my death. It's kind of morbid.
The sentries swiftly guide you along the bottom of the seabed, descending into much darker, colder water. After keeping pace with them for what seems like an eternity, you notice a forebodingly dark area looming closer and closer. You have arrived at the border of the Sharkies' kingdom. This is as far as the sentries will take you. One of the guards salutes you. Then they both head back to the safety of their own waters. You're on your own from here, Graham.
Okay, so I'm in the cold, dark
guards
waters.
were sure in a big hurry to get out of here.
Of the Sharkies. It's time to explore around here. You do want to be careful when you're exploring, because there are some sharks around here that will eat your face if you're not careful. You don't want that, not at all. So we come up here, there's this boat. Let me search it.
Examining the heavily waterlogged remnants of the vessel, you notice an old antique bottle half buried in the sand. With great difficulty, you lean over in your saddle and manage to scoop it up.
Looks like there's something inside of there, so let me open it up. See if I can find anything.
You remove the cloth from the bottle.
Okay, so there's a cloth there. Alright. Let me continue exploring here, finding anything that may help me. And there's one of the sharks I was talking about. You gotta be careful. And I accidentally went north instead of west. That's okay. Let me go down. I don't want to deal with that guy. Let me come around here. Let me try to go through here again. Alright, no shark this time, so I can go west. Okay, however, there is a shark here. Did not mean to come down here. I need to go west one more. Again, I'm just exploring, trying to find anything that may help me on my journey. Okay, and it looks like there's a plant here that's attracting all these little luminescent fish. And let me see if I can use that to my advantage.
You lean over and pick some of the grass, which grows in between the rocks.
Okay, let me stick that in the bottle. The plan's going to be to get some of those luminescent fish into the bottle.
You stuff the sugary grass into the empty bottle and push it all the way to the bottom.
That way I have a bit of a flashlight if I'm ever in the dark.
You place the baited bottle on the seabed, close to the luminescent fish.
Let's see if any of them go in there. Perfect.
A few of the glowing fish are now swimming around inside the bottle.
Alright, let me take it.
You take the bottle.
Perfect, now I have a flashlight if I'm ever in the dark. Now let me just try to find my way through here. Trying to locate the Sharkies, trying to locate this trident. It's a pretty colorful fish swimming around here. Gotta be careful with this guy, though. Definitely don't want to be on the same plane as him, or he'll eat you. It's not good. This little sequence kind of reminds me of that game. I don't know if you guys, but when I was in 3rd grade, they had those Apple computers with games like Oregon Trail on there. But they also had one where you were in an ocean and you could pick any fish and you just like swim around eating other fish. I don't know if you guys remember that. Anyways, you can see that this fish kind of swims in and out of the wall, which is kind of strange. So let me try to touch this wall.
Having noticed the fish moving suspiciously in and out of the rock wall, you reach out and touch it. To your astonishment, your hand passes right through.
Excellent, so it looks like I can go through the wall.
The western wall is but an illusion. You easily pass through it into a series of caves and tunnels on the other side.
So it is definitely very dark in here, and that's why I got that bottle full of luminescent fish. That way I can navigate safely. Trying to make my way into the heart of the Sharky Kingdom. See if I can find the trident of Neptune. Just gonna keep going through here. This underwater cave system. Okay. Looks like there's this big shell here. Let me take a look at it.
A large opaque shell seemingly blocks a tunnel to the north. Whatever lies in that direction must be very important.
So I'm gonna try to cut through it with my sword. See what that does.
You slide your blade through a small gap in the door and pull with all your might. It is difficult handling your weapon underwater, and you realize that combat will not be an option. So if it ever comes to that, you're in big trouble. As you open the door, ample light floods into the underwater cave, and you are now able to make your way around without the glowing fish.
So whatever's going on in there was important, so I'm gonna leave the seahorse out here. That way I can be kind of more sneaky. So let me just swim on through. Oh my god, it's the sharks.
Oh no, the seahorse has followed you. Let's hope it doesn't give your presence away. You are safely concealed behind the remnants of a stone archway. This is fortunate, as the king of the Sharkies is also here. Aside from his menacing appearance, he also seems to be in a very bad mood.
I do not understand it. It should work for me. Is it not written that Trident's power can only be wielded by those of goodwill? Well, is it not?
The king's aides nod fervently.
And do I not possess the greatest will in this kingdom? No one can best me in battle. My resolve is unshakable. No amount of bleeding can dissuade me from slaughtering my enemies. Does this not signify that my will is the best there is?
The Sharky King's aides seem all too willing to agree.
Then why does it not work?
So I have to pay attention
You watch
here.
carefully as the Sharky King taps 4 shells in order around the arch.
It's gonna be important, obviously.
It matters not. Tomorrow we invade the Mer people's territory. For without the Trident's power, that old fool Neptune and his weakling followers will fall before our might. Goodwill. Ha! Mine is superior to all.
As he leaves, the Sharky King motions for his guards to remain.
So it looks like they're planning an invasion of the mer people. That's terrible. Let me try to set up a distraction here.
Having an idea, you approach your somewhat reluctant steed and slap him hard on the back. Look at him go. The guards are momentarily distracted. Now is your chance.
So time does matter here. You have to be very fast, or else the sharks will catch you. But Graham swims very, very slowly. Look at him go. Super slow. Okay, and let me do this.
You push on the shell. It moves back slightly into the wall.
And that's why I had to memorize this. Perfect. Take the trident. The trident is huge.
Without delay, you snatch up the trident before the guards return to their posts.
Perfect.
It appears as if the guards are losing interest in the seahorse. You had better get out of here quickly.
Alright, let me swim out. Come on, Graham. Swim faster. Faster, my friend.
Oh no, the seahorse has followed you all the way back to the secret entrance. The guards are sure to discover you now.
Okay, so let me get back on the seahorse. And it's going to initiate an action sequence.
The seahorse.
Believe it or not, an action sequence in the game. And I think I used my arrow keys here, if I remember correctly.
Your seahorse glides onward, flicking its little tail faster than ever. You grip the reins tightly, glancing nervously over your shoulder every so often to check for pursuing sentries. As you make distance, your anxiety melts into relief. But it is to be short-lived.
So yeah, short arcade sequence, let's go through it. And yeah, I can use my my arrow keys. And basically have to avoid these rocks as they come. Or else the sharkies might catch me. And that's not good. You can skip the action sequence, but then you don't get points. And of course I'm going for max points. So I need to do this. And honestly, it's not that hard. You can see. Oh, I might get hit here. Yeah, I got smacked. That's okay. You can get smacked like a few times and you'll be okay. Ideally, you want to stay like towards the middle here. Because if you saw when I got smacked, I was like all the way on the left side and I couldn't go anywhere. I think you can get hit like 3 times and be okay.
Finally, you see the light at the end of the tunnel. You quickly make a dash for the exit.
Perfect. Well, not perfect. I got smacked twice, but still.
As you emerge, you realize you have only seconds before the guards come out after you. And even if you could outrun them, you're sure the commotion would attract the sentry's attention. Then you'd be in real trouble. Suddenly, you hear a strange voice in your head.
He of noble and goodwill, royal trident thou may wield.
Okay, so just as this voice suggests, let me use the trident.
You wonder what that did, if anything at all.
Nice.
Oh.
It's a very sarcastic oh. Let me get out of here. Let's take the trident back to Neptune. Hopefully not get eaten by any sharks after all of that. Okay, let me go through here. Then here. And let me go north a little bit. I'm basically trying to go to the northeastern edge of this little area. A little fish. What are those? Are those like plankton? I don't know. Keep going though. Look at that trident. It's pretty sweet. It looked a lot bigger in the little pantry, though. I think this will take me back to the kingdom.
The trident guides you back to Neptune's realm.
Very nice. And again, I just love how cool the city looks here. They did a good job with it. I like the glow that it has, too.
You approach the king. He smiles and graciously accepts his trident from you. Then he calls everyone to attention.
To commemorate the return of my trident, and to honor King Graham's success, I hereby call for a celebration.
Nice.
The celebration lasts for some time. You eat, drink, and have a merry time with many of the mer people. After a few hours, the festivities wind down, and you finally have a chance to speak with Neptune alone.
The gems of nature represent the 3 stages of life. Water gives birth to life, and thus what I have given you is the first of 3. Second is the growth gem, or air gem, for air sustains life and permits it to grow.
How might I find the growth gem?
I know only that its location is as far above the surface of the land as we are below it. Beyond that, I cannot aid you.
A smirk crosses Neptune's face momentarily.
You might say that air is not exactly my element.
You decide that the beverages consumed were to blame for that one.
And the third gem, Your Majesty?
Third is the death gem, the completion of life and the natural order of things. The door of destiny understands this now, as did the ancients who imprisoned the soul within. As for that gem's location, I had hoped you would have no business venturing to the castle. Kolyma was once ruled from that place, but sadly her people have not seen their lord for quite some time. But if you please, I would prefer not to dwell upon this subject. You have done me a great service this day, and I thank you. Good luck, King Graham, and good speed.
Excellent, so the first of the 3 gems is mine. It's time to look for the other 2. Somehow gonna have to find a way to
You depart the underwater kingdom and head back towards the surface.
make my way to the sky.
What an incredible experience. You are certain you will never forget the adventure you just had. Additionally, you have acquired one of the gems. As you resurface, you realize that the magic which allowed you to breathe underwater has now subsided.
Very cool, so I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was a fun one. Big adventure under the sea here. If you're enjoying the series, be sure to leave a like on the video. Join the family by hitting the subscribe button. There's a ton of King's Quest content coming your way. And I'll see you next time. I'm actually going to meet you over at the town gates. That way you don't have to watch me run all the way over there. So thanks again, and see you next time.